I got uninvited from a coworker's wedding. Then they still asked me to pay $200 for a gift. I, 27F, have been sitting on this for a couple of days now, and I still can't tell if I'm being petty or just finally standing up for myself. I work in a mid-sized marketing agency and have been there for almost 2 years. Our office is pretty tight-knit, not in a we're all best friends way, but we're friendly, group lunches, birthday cards, casual happy hours, things like that. One of my coworkers, Jess, 31F, is getting married next month. We've never been super close, but we've always been friendly. We've had coffee a few times, we chat during lunch breaks, and we've gone to a couple of group events outside of work. Think, friendly acquaintance bordering on casual friend. A couple of months ago, Jess sent out wedding invitations to the entire 8-person marketing team. I was pleasantly surprised, but appreciated the gesture. I didn't make a big deal out of it, but I RSVP'd yes. I even started looking for a dress and had it on my calendar. Fast forward to last week. Our office manager, Sarah, 45F, started collecting money for a group wedding gift. She told us she wanted to get something high-end from Jess's wedding registry, a very fancy kitchen gadget that costs about $1,600. That breaks down to $200 per person, assuming everyone chips in. Now, $200 is quite a lot for me to spend on a coworker gift, but I figured, hey, it's a team thing, and I was invited to the wedding. It's a little steep, but whatever. I was planning to contribute. And then came the text. 2 days after Sarah started collecting, I got a message from Jess. It read, "Hey, I hope you're doing well. I just wanted to reach out and let you know that we've had to make some really tough cuts to the wedding guest list because of venue capacity and some last-minute additions from family. I'm so sorry, but unfortunately we won't be able to accommodate everyone we initially invited. I hope you understand." I blinked at my phone for a good minute. Because here's the thing. I found out later that day, thank you, group chat, that everyone else in the office was still going. All 7 others. I was the only one cut. I tried to brush it off, but it stung. I didn't say anything to Jess because, honestly, what was there to say? I didn't want to make a scene. I assumed maybe I just didn't make the cut because we weren't that close. Fine. Then I saw on LinkedIn that Jess recently reconnected with a former coworker of hers, someone who just got promoted to VP at a company we're trying to land as a client. And yep, that person got a wedding invite. My spot had been replaced, essentially by a networking opportunity. I was hurt, not just by the uninvite, but by the message itself. It felt cold and calculated, like I was just being brushed aside with a generic excuse. Then yesterday morning, Sarah came over to my desk to collect the $200. I politely told her that since I was no longer invited to the wedding, I wasn't comfortable contributing the full amount to a group gift. I said I might get Jess a small personal gift on my own instead. Sarah looked genuinely shocked. She said, "But it's a team gift." I said, "I understand, but I'm not going to the wedding anymore." She paused, then said, "Well, not contributing kind of messes up the group harmony. Everyone else is in." I said something like, "I'm sorry, but I just don't feel comfortable with it." And that was that. Or so I thought. Now, things at the office are awkward. A couple of coworkers have been giving me the side eye. One even asked, "So are you really not pitching in for Jess's gift?" I didn't want to explain the whole thing, so I just said, "No, I'm doing something separately." Now I'm starting to second-guess myself. Am I making a mountain out of a molehill? Should I have just paid the money to keep the peace? It's not about the $200 exactly. It's the principle. I'm being asked to help pay for a gift for someone who decided I wasn't important enough to include in her big day. So Reddit? AITA? Update 1. Hey all, I didn't expect this to get so much attention. Thank you for the awards, messages, and the overwhelming amount of NTA judgments. I really appreciate it. A few people asked what happened since, and well, things escalated a little. So after I made my post, I decided to stick to my decision. I bought Jess a very modest gift, just a personalized cheese board from Etsy that cost me $35. It wasn't extravagant, but it was tasteful and still thoughtful. I left it on her desk with a little note wishing her a beautiful wedding day and a happy life together. Just didn't say anything right away, but the next day, she emailed me saying thank you and that the gift was unexpected but very kind. That felt passive-aggressive. I ignored it. What really blew my mind, though, was what happened 2 days later. Sarah called a team meeting to finalize the logistics of the wedding gift drop-off and card signing. When we sat down, she said, "I think we all need to be aligned on what being part of team means. It's not about who's invited to what. It's about showing support for each other." I kid you not, this woman was practically scolding me in front of the team without saying my name. After the meeting, Two coworkers privately told me they thought that was out of line and that they didn't realize I was the only one uninvited. One of them actually Venmo'd me $20 and said, "Consider this my way of saying I see you." I almost cried. Meanwhile, the wedding is next weekend. Jess hasn't brought it up to me again, but Sarah is clearly bitter. I overheard her telling someone in accounting that some people just don't understand how to be adults. I'm 90% sure that was about me. So yeah, office politics are weird, but I'm standing by my decision. Thanks again for validating my sanity. Let me know if you want a post-wedding update. Update 2. Okay, Reddit. Buckle up because post-wedding office tea has arrived. Jess came back from her wedding/honeymoon looking happy and glowing. She brought cupcakes for the office and did the usual "thank you all so much" speech about the group gift. I didn't join the crowd for cupcakes. I was in the middle of a report and just didn't want to play the game. Later that afternoon, Jess came by my desk. She said, "Hey, I just wanted to say thank you again for the cheese board. That was sweet." I said, "Of course. Hope it was a beautiful day." She smiled, then paused and said, "I didn't realize you were upset about the guest list change." Y'all, I was stunned. I said as neutrally as possible, "I wasn't thrilled about being uninvited when everyone else in the office still went, but I understand your wedding is your choice." She replied, "It wasn't personal. It's just that we had a really limited number of seats, and my old coworker is a very close friend. Plus, we're trying to partner with her company." So, she tried to backtrack, but it was already out there. She admitted it. My spot went to someone with strategic value. I said, "That makes sense. I just didn't think it was fair to be expected to contribute the same amount to the group gift after being cut." "That's all." She said, "I didn't even know Sarah was still collecting from you." That's not what I wanted. Was she being honest? I have no idea, but at least it was out in the open. Here's the best part, though. A few people who went to the wedding said it was gorgeous, but also freezing. It was partially outdoors, and the heaters apparently failed. Behind schedule, cocktail hour lasted over 2 hours. And a little awkward because VP lady kept name-dropping her company like it was a sponsorship. I'll be honest, there's a little petty part of me that feels vindicated. Office vibes have since settled down. Sarah seems to have dropped the attitude, or at least gone silent about it. And I've actually gotten closer to a couple of coworkers who said they admired how I handled it. So yeah, not the fairy tale I expected, but I stood my ground, kept my dignity, and didn't spend $200 on someone who clearly didn't value me equally. Thanks for being my sounding board, Reddit. I'm finally at peace with it.